and it's muted. I have to remember to turn the mic. All right, good evening, everyone. We are going to get this party started in a matter of seconds, moments, however you want to think about it. I am your friendly host, Josh Johnson. We are here to talk about weather, my favorite topic, and the discussion tonight centering around a significant Arctic cold front blowing through the state just in time for Halloween. Trick-or-treaters, you are going to want to bundle up. As always, if you have any questions, leave those in the comments. I'll either answer here in the video or I will write you an answer as soon as the video concludes, whichever one makes the most sense. So let's dive straight into the data here. If you haven't noticed, and it depends on where you live, if you have the opportunity to notice or not, there is an Arctic cold front pushing into the state as we speak, as you and I are talking. So what's happening here, temperatures are already beginning to drop in parts of West Alabama. Demopolis in the 50s at last hour, and you'll notice back into Mississippi a big chunk of colder air back there as well. So we'll just move you forward in time here through the rest of the night, and when the front goes through, it will be very noticeable. So let me take the data here full screen so we can dive into all of this together. So here you go. This would be valid. This is valid right about now, but watch what happens through the rest of the evening here. Temperatures just drop like a rock here. And I'm going to take down the partner logos here just momentarily so you can kind of see the data here. So this is 10 o'clock tonight. The northern and western counties well down into the 50s. The warmth hanging on for dear life down there in the southwestern corner of the state. But even there, in the southeastern corner of Alabama, but even there, it's not long for this world. So it's going to turn colder essentially everywhere. So just be ready for that as we go through this. So there's the data again. We'll go picture in picture here on the data here. So you and I can talk and we can look at data at the same time. Okay, so Then you wake up tomorrow morning. Look at this. This is 7 o'clock. Montgomery's at 52. We're in the upper 40s north and west of the capital city. East Alabama has dropped by this point down into the mid-50s. And then from there, temperatures don't move much. You'll notice it stays around 52 through 10 a.m. if you're lucky. And then in the afternoon, we'll sort of do a tiny little rebound here up to near 60 degrees if we are really lucky. Then the sun goes down, and boy, oh boy, look what happens for you trick-or-treaters. We're talking upper 40s to low 50s. The wind is going to make it feel a lot colder than that, so just be ready. This is going to be a sharp change to noticeably colder weather. For trick-or-treaters, for those who have dinner plans, this is going to be a big slap in the face. And then it goes down from there even more. Check this out. So this would be valid around sunrise Wednesday morning. We're talking 32, 33 or so around Montgomery itself. You go north of Montgomery, it is likely that we drop below freezing across parts of Autauga, Perry, Dallas, Chilton, Coosa, Elmore, Tallapoosa, Lee, and Chambers counties. So this is not the kind of freeze that's going to burst your pipes. You do not need to drip faucets in your home. This is the kind of freeze where you will need to bring the pets indoors, and you will need to protect your plants too. A lot of them are blooming. I have azaleas blooming in my yard because of how warm it's been lately. And unfortunately, you'll want to try to protect those. The key there, use a breathable fabric. I know that's counterintuitive, but if you put a big thick tarp over a plant, it can kill it. It can reduce its access to carbon dioxide when it breathes to stay alive. So a few other tips on that. Bring the pets inside, cover the plants with a thin breathable fabric. A sheet is typically going to be best for you. This will help with the mosquitoes and the wasps. This will drive them away, at least temporarily. It'll buy some time. That's nice. The other big thing you're going to notice here, your tire pressure inside your vehicle. Typically for about every 10-degree drop we see in temperature, your air in your tires goes down about 1 psi. We're talking about a 50-degree drop in temperatures here. So this is going to be a big deal. You're going to lose about 5 psi out of your car's tires. So you may see that little exclamation point pop up on that icon pop up on your dash. That's typically going to be related to your car's tire pressure, your vehicle tire pressure. Quick stop by a service station, put some air in that thing, get it back up, and life will be good. Okay, so how cold does it get? We'll sort of re-rack us here. So back to the data for Wednesday morning, and man, is it cold. Even down into South Alabama, we're talking mid-30s with a freeze likely as far south as Montgomery. So then during the day Wednesday, things just don't get very warm. You'll notice by noon, we're still at 47. Even for November, this is colder than normal. Then into the afternoon, if we play our cards exactly right, that temperature may rebound back up to around 50 degrees. But then we're going to see a few additional cold nights out of this pattern. So this is the kind of pattern, and I'll switch over to a different source of longer range data here. Specifically, in our case, the European computer model. It tends to handle these sorts of things pretty well. So we'll re-rack all of this and take you in. So this is Wednesday morning, 30s. Then look at what happens Thursday morning. Low to mid-30s, fairly commonplace. 33, 34 degrees in most places. And then the warm-up really begins to crank up later into the week. Now, the other part of this we need to talk about, if you have been not paying attention to the weather very much lately, Alabama remains firmly entrenched in drought. We need rain badly. We're not going to get it. So here's the data on that. The latest model guidance here suggesting a little tiny blip of some showers here in spots early on Halloween. This should be gone by the time you are trick-or-treating, especially if you live north and west of Montgomery. Leftover sprinkles and showers could be an issue into the wiregrass for the trick-or-treaters. I would point out to you the model I'm showing you here tends to overestimate light rainfall. So we will go with that idea that there will be a few spotty showers along the front. Rainfall amounts here, we're talking, if you are really, really, really lucky, you could get 5/100ths of an inch of rain. So obviously not enough to break any droughts, and then that all goes away. So when you look at the next part of this, back to the cold, is the combination of wind and cold. The wind will kick up tomorrow and stay high. So it's breezy Tuesday, it's breezy Tuesday night, it's breezy Wednesday morning. So for the trick-or-treaters, you need to understand it's not just that it's going to be cold, it's going to be rather breezy as well. And that's going to be something that you feel in a very big way. So lots of wind, lots of cold. And Stephanie, no, it is not going to snow in this pattern. This is not a snow producer sort of system for us in Alabama, but it is going to feel uncomfortably cold. And when I say feel, I mean when you account for the combination of wind and temperature. So this is the feels like number. These are raw data numbers. We're not making these up. I didn't type a single one of these. These are raw numbers off of a computer model suggesting it will feel like mid-20s around most of the area early Wednesday morning due to the combination of wind and cold. So as you're getting the plan together, and this is going to be a stressful time for parents, right? You're going trick-or-treating, your kids are hopped up on sugar, and then you got to turn around Wednesday morning and get them ready to go back to school. Just know that it's going to turn sharply colder and be very windy there Wednesday morning. So you will want to have them in a very some heavy-duty jackets and coats and hats and all that stuff Wednesday morning because it's going to get really cold and be very breezy and very blustery. So that's why that feels like number there is as low as it is. So just be aware that that's something we're watching and that's something that's going to sort of happen. All right, back to the data here. Let me show you the 7-day forecast. So this doesn't last long. It's Alabama. That's usually how these things go. It is going to get cold. It is not going to stay cold. We've got essentially 3 cold days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are cold. Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night are cold. And then after that, it warms up. Yeah, we're talking 70 by Friday afternoon. And then a really nice weekend ahead. Sunshine for Saturday and Sunday. Highs both weekend days in the mid-70s. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that at all. That's a pretty nice piece of real estate for Alabama this time of year. Again, this is all very normal stuff to be back up near 70 or so Friday and then mid-70s into Saturday and Sunday. So it gets cold here. It typically doesn't stay cold, and this quick snap is no exception. Now, let me show you some raw data here. I'm a data guy. I'm going to make myself disappear to thunderous applause, no doubt. So this is raw data off the European computer model. That's our most accurate one. So you see the cold snap in here, right? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Then the weekend we warm back up. And then into early next week, pretty typical November stuff. Highs in the 60s and 70s, lows in the 40s and 50s. The reason I want to show you this is through the next 240 hours, the data here is suggesting no more than a third of an inch of rain. That is not nearly enough to help us out with the drought. So this is going to be another long stretch of dry weather that we're in here. So please, I know this weekend it's going to be sunny and nice and perfect and comfortable. Please do not burn anything outdoors. This is a really, really bad situation there for Saturday, Sunday, burning. Don't do it. You could be subject to huge fines. In some places, depending on where exactly you live and the fire alert status, it could be a misdemeanor crime. You could be held civilly liable if you have a fire and it gets out of control and your neighbor's house burns down. Guess what? That's on you. So please, 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 no outdoor burning until we get a big rain, which unfortunately is going to be a long time from now. Cheryl has a phenomenal question. So if I add air to my tires, what's going to happen to the pressure when the temperature rises again? It tends to take care of itself, believe it or not. It will go up slightly, but remember, the difference here is we're going from 80s to 30s in about 36 hours. When the temperature goes back up, it's going to be a far slower process. So that will give the pressure in your tire a little extra time to sort of normalize and regulate. So don't worry about that. That's really not a big concern. And over time, your tires tend to lose air anyway, so it's a self-correcting issue. So don't sweat that. Let's see. What else do we have to talk about here? Well, I'll walk you through the long-range European. I showed you the temperature trends. I'll just show you the whole pattern on this. So we'll go back to the data here momentarily. So if you look carefully, you can see Alabama right down here. See, I'll move the mouse over so you can see it. So let's just walk you through this. Front comes through tomorrow, a couple of showers along for the ride. It's sharply colder and dry. This is Wednesday. This is Thursday. Here's Friday. Notice we are dry. Now, by Friday night, the wind begins to shift back around from the south. That'll warm us up. So into the weekend, temperatures rebound into the 70s. Still no rain. Then we continue into the middle of next week. That's our next shot, perhaps. That's where this signal has shown up, and I've alluded to this in a couple of Facebook posts, but the possibility for a cold front with some showers and storms along for the ride by next Tuesday. So that's a little beyond the scope of our 7-day forecast, and it's a thread the needle kind of idea. If this area of low pressure gets pushed 200 miles farther north 8 days from now, it doesn't rain a drop here. So I don't want to get your hopes up, but there is a shot. That would be a prolific snow and wind thing for places like Detroit and the Great Lakes. The Edmund Fitzgerald, huh? Yeah, it could be something along those lines. Big storm. And by the way, that merges with an area of low pressure off the Atlantic coast. And if this were to verify, this would be a massive blizzard for parts of upstate New York and southeastern Canada. But remember, we're talking about something that's 228 hours from now. A lot can and will change. The other thing you'll notice here, maybe another little signal for rain out there around next Thursday. So next week, maybe our rain chances go up just a little. Jeff wants to know, is it going to snow in Prattville? Is it still going to snow in Prattville? Ha, he got jokes. The odds of it snowing anytime in the next 10 days in Alabama are essentially 0. So don't sweat that. All righty, it's 7 o'clock. I appreciate all of you for tuning into this and hanging out with us. As always, we love these Facebook Lives. A chance to sort of talk one-on-one with everybody. Stephanie says she's ready to wear the boots. I don't blame you, Stephanie. It's always nice, that first big cold front of the year. You get to put the jeans on and the hoodie and the boots and just enjoy a nice change up. After 5 months of hot weather, after 5 months of the sun trying to kill us, it'll finally feel a little bit better. So kudos to that. All righty. So everyone, I hope you've enjoyed this conversation. We'll do some more of these, obviously, as we go through time. We do these whenever there's any sort of impactful weather heading our way. And this one, with it being Halloween and a lot of people being outside, this one qualifies as sort of an impactful scenario there. So that's the reason that we have been on today with you, chatting it up about all things weather. Have a wonderful evening. I'll be back on TV on WSFA 12.2 tonight at 9 o'clock, then WSFA 12 News at 10. I'll see you there. I've also got updates that will publish to the First Alert Weather app and WSFA.com throughout the evening, so check those out as well. All right, everybody, have a wonderful Monday night. Take care.